What's going on, guys? It's Rex with Noiz Research. Hope y'all been having a good weekend so far. Sorry I missed y'all the last couple days. My nephew graduated from Texas A&M, so we've been doing some family celebratory things with him, and really proud of him. It's awesome he did that. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are getting this started officially now. Welcome to the Noiz Research show with your host, Rex. Coming at you on a beautiful Saturday. It's a little cloudy here in Texas, so that's nice, keeping a little bit of that heat out our faces. It does look like it's trying to rain. Hopefully we can get some of that. It is dry as hell here. It is August 11th, 2018. Don't forget to sub, bell, and smash. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. And I'm not going to forget to click my live screen like I did. Oh man, what was that? Last stream, I believe. Yeah. 50 minutes in and was like, wait, that still says stream starting soon. Whoops. Yeah, it happens. All right, guys, here we go. Let's get it in. Let's start off with some. Oh, I've been kind of saying this too for a while and agree. Now, would it help it grow faster and be good ultimately for it in the beginning? Yes. In the long term, though, I don't really think it matters. Let's see what he says. He left for two primary reasons, he says. The first was the tremendous opportunity that he believes is inherent in the space. I think y'all probably believe that too, or most of y'all do. I know I do. It's what attracted, one of the things that attracted me to the space early on when I was researching it very heavily. in like 2012, 13. I didn't buy any yet then, though. Whoops. But he also says the second reason is that the technology has the potential to change the world for the better by empowering some of the most disaffected people in the world with a greater degree of financial freedom. And I said it kind of like that. Have potential. It's good. I guess I've just been reading too many shitcoin white paper titles or something, you know. If y'all trade a lot, you probably feel me. Interesting, I did not know this when I was just going through this article, though, that Dash has been adopted in Venezuela by over 800 merchants. Did y'all know that? And it's also active in Zimbabwe. But, oh, in both of these countries, also, if y'all don't know, huge hyperinflation. Zimbabwe, you can buy 100 trillion. Yes, that's right, with a T. Here, you know what? Y'all want to just look it up? Let's check it out. Oh. Yeah, it's pretty hilarious. I actually have one. It's awesome. I bought it a while back because I was like, oh, dude, really? Like, this is badass. There you go. Looks just like that. Oh, these better not be selling for $100. That would be crazy. Because they were like, I think when I picked up one or two, it was like, yeah, the worthless trillion. Yeah, it's like a dollar or something, 50 cents. It was ridiculous. But it was awesome to have. So, hey, maybe they are going back up. Maybe they're not. Oh, yeah, $6. Look at that. What? But that's only the 10 billion. But anyway, it's funny. Before we get off on that, let's move on with some more points with this. But yeah, if you've never seen one, you should just go get one and hang it up. It's pretty cool to have. So he worked in the financial services biz for 15 years on Wall Street, and he was a hedge fund analyst working at a $20 billion investment firm based in New York to do Dash. So guys, we keep hearing about this all the time. People are leaving the space to come to, leaving other technology spaces and technology firms, banks, fintechs, all of this stuff, even all kinds of things. They're all leaving to go build crypto. They're seeing the green light, I guess you could call it. And there's a lot of money flowing over here. Like we talked about the other day, ICO investments are up like 5x. Even that's taking out EOS too, since they raised over $4 billion. That kind of skews the number a little bit, but nonetheless, it's still money raised. So if you count EOS, then it's like 10x of the same time last year for Q1, Q2. So that's with the market like this too. I think that's saying something. It's almost, is that like some hidden bullish divergence? Maybe, I don't know. He says it doesn't need Wall Street to grow. It is getting adopted more and more every year with or without it. There are major benefits and drawbacks from its involvement. But I think netting those out, it is an overall positive thing that crypto is becoming more and more integrated with the traditional financial system. I would agree with that. Net, it is netting those out. And crypto will grow without it. It's here and it's bigger than ever, and the banks still are like, eh. Yeah, think about that too. Is that more? Or maybe that's just the fundamentals. I don't know, I don't really like that term. In a zero interest rate economy, kind of doesn't make sense anymore. But yeah, he's right on this too. He goes on and says regulatory uncertainty is preventing a lot of businesses from jumping in, of course, but it's not stopping lots of giant businesses from stepping in either, though. Like Northern Trust, we talked about, that managed, what was it, $1 trillion or 10 trillion or something. They're huge. So, yeah, it's not stopping people, but stopping some people. That's just part of the fight before it comes mainstream. I mean, think of the internet. Everyone thought people like taking a picture of something and then putting it on a web page, you know. Everyone's like, dude, no one cares about that. That's dumb. Why are you wasting your time? Clearly, I think we know what happened there. So, yeah, there you go. Dash CEO, Ryan Taylor. dropping some knowledge. This article is really poorly written, but the idea, I've wondered this too myself. It is surprising Bitcoin isn't rallying while some of these currencies, like I don't know if y'all saw the lira, because Trump said something about exports or tariffs. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. The lira got smashed like 20% in a day. It's down like 30% in a couple weeks. Bitcoin was going down. Okay, yeah, a lot of currencies are going down, but I guess maybe, you know, it's not because of the same type of crisis. Because you mentioned Cyprus, I'm sure y'all remember that, or if you followed Bitcoin that long ago, it definitely popped. I mean, Bitcoin was like, man, less than 50 bucks then. So I think it might even only been like $10 when that happened. It was really cheap. But yeah, it spiked like super hard. But maybe that was a banking crisis, which is a little bit different than Turkish lira crashing because Trump said tariffs. But if those lead into more crises, then it might have a little bit more weight on it when Trump gets on his little tweet storms. But yeah, so interesting to hear some thoughts on that. If y'all want to leave any, you know, comment, send me a message, whatever. All right. Oh, everybody's favorite. I should say every maximalist's favorite. Yep, y'all know who it is. Yeehan. Ooh. But, dude, Bitmain, like we talked about the other day, like, they're no joke. We're going to get into a stat later. Actually, we'll just go ahead and talk about it now. So, last year, Bitmain machines accounted for 66% of the total, actually 66.6% of the total mining volume, and Bitmain ran 40% of the mining pools. Think about that for a little bit. Yeah, let that sink in. I love Bitcoin, and there's definitely good arguments to it still being decentralized, right? But one does have to wonder if they get really big, and I mean, they're already making more money than NVDA in like 5 years they've been out or something like that. And NVIDIA created the GPU and has been a company for like 25 years. And Bitmain already makes more money than them. So they are getting pretty large. I really hope that, even though this is kind of a far-fetched hope, I guess, that Samsung and maybe Apple or some of the other tech companies getting into the space like they have mentioned, I don't know if those are like small enough companies or good enough companies to make it decentralized. I'm not sure. It reminds me of kind of like proof of stake. You know, everyone's like, oh, well, if the major block holders have most of the coins, then, you know, they get to make most of the decisions. But is it not the same with mining? It's very similar, but I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a really long-winded question and answers and different ideas, because there's not, I guess there really isn't an answer for it yet, because it's kind of new still and we're figuring all that out. So, but I don't like the idea of just, a lot of people just think proof of stake is scammy, but I don't know. I think if you pull the curtains back, they're both pretty similar. One uses a lot less energy, which y'all should like that out there if you're into environmental things and causes, which is nice. But then you sacrifice security, though, on a certain level, by not using as much energy as Bitcoin does, because it's making it almost super immutable. Like, because how much money would it even attempt or cost to attempt to like hack and 51% it or something detrimental to the network? And how long would those coins even be worth anything? I think if there was some kind of hack like that, the community would get together and it would fork in a certain way that benefited most people. And most people aren't going to side with the dude that stole and rerouted every coin, let's say, to 6 addresses or something, you know, whatever it was. Like, they could just be like, oh, consensus with everybody else, 99.899% of everyone is like, hey, no, we're gonna fork, and then that didn't count, and then now you have a bunch of worthless tokens. It's easier just to fish and scam. Scammers like easy targets, guys. Thieves like easy targets. So now on top of them getting so large, right, they're weighing in on doing an $18 billion IPO, underwritten by China International Capital Corp and listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and they want to do that Q4 or Q1 of next year. Q4 this year, Q1 of 2019. So that's pretty wild. That would be larger. That would be like one of the largest public offerings ever, maybe. Let's see. Yep, it'll be one of the largest. Yeah, Facebook, obviously, if y'all remember, was a really big one. So that's right around the corner. Yet another interesting timing and news event happening later this year. We talked about that a few episodes ago. It seems like, especially the more I'm doing this show now, it's like more stuff is stacking into winter and very early next year, but mostly winter of this year. So keep your seatbelt fastened. So if you just wanted to know, since I do have 40% of the network, they accounted for over 50 machines, guys. That's how many they had. 560,000 machines that mined approximately like a third. That's pretty much a third, guys, right here. Let's just 11.2 versus 36, right? So let's just call it 12 to 36,000. A third. They mined a third. So they've made 1 billion, 11 billion, and 10 billion off of Q1 Bitcoin holdings. And that's 1 billion in 2016, 11 in 2017, and 10 in 2018. These guys just are killing it. And they also have been partnering with, I can't remember how to say this, Huawei. It's a phone maker that I noticed them a few years ago. You started seeing them in, you know, T-Mobile, wherever you go shop for phones. And, you know, if you played with one a little bit, I never bought one, but I would play with them in the store, and I'm like, man, these are pretty nice, and their price points are way less, you know. I'm pretty sure most people are getting sick of paying $800-900 for a phone. I know not everybody, but so they've kind of partnered with them, and they want to do like a cryptocurrency phone later. I'll do some research on that, and we'll pull it up on the next stream. But yeah, so in half a decade, Bitmain has captured 8% of the domestic chip design market, and it took Highway 14 years to get 17%. So that's pretty wild. Their growth rate is pretty astonishing thus far. And I guess they don't really have competition, so that definitely helps too, right? It'll be hard to catch up with them now, though. Have to come out with the 1 nanometer chip. I don't know. So this is an interesting claim. They said that they have shown that their AI chips have stacked up against the computing power found in Google's AI products, which Google does have some pretty advanced technology in that sector. So I know they're just claiming that. There's no way to really know, but they say they have 500 people working on R&D and platform architecture, algorithmic development, software, everything, hardware. So that's a lot of people, 500. And I'm sure he's picking them wisely. So also don't forget Bitmain's upcoming mining rig for Ethereum, the ASIC for Ethereum. That is going to be very interesting. Actually, when does that come out? Let's see that real quick, because that's some pretty important news bit there, because when that happens, it looks like most of these are from May. Yeah, we're just winging it a little bit right now. So when is that? Let's see, the E3 shipping in July at $800 per unit. All right, so it's called an E3. They said this July. Let's just go ahead and click on the link to go to Bitmain in their website and see if we can just go ahead and buy this thing right now. Script. Oh, I don't see the E3. No. Oh, there it is. Oh, now it's $1,200, of course. Oh, it's batch 5 though. But they're not shipping until... Oh, they're shipping starting today, this week, guys. What? Yeah, so I'm not really sure. Might be interesting to do some research on these. Look on some, what is it, Coin Wars, a bunch of these other analytical sites for mining hardware. We're not going to do that now, but just so you know, they just shipped in July. So that's like just last month, guys. And they're only on the batch 5. So that product is just now getting out there. That's interesting. I'm going to look more into that later. All right. Facebook's David Marcus left Coinbase's board, and people are speculating that it's because of potential conflicts in their cryptocurrency strategy. And obviously people have been mentioning Facebook wanting to maybe acquire Coinbase, which would be pretty wild. That would be super, super insane. And they totally could do it. They have enough money for sure. And Facebook kind of isn't, you know, I mean, Facebook isn't going to, I think, make it in the long run of social media giants. I mean, we've gone through quite a few of those, but they have such a big war chest that they can kind of morph and maybe be like the AOL of back in the day, where they just were like buying all the companies up and still were able to make it because they just kept kind of switching businesses. So I feel like they could be on that type of path. But this is interesting. It's like the Facebook spokesperson declined to comment on the rumor, but of the acquisition, that is. But said one reason that Marcus left Coinbase board was, quote, to avoid the appearance of conflict rather than because of an actual conflict. That's pretty funny. No, it's just to look like, make sure that it looks like there's no conflict rather than there being one. It's like that's just really funny to say it like that. It's almost like, oh, they hit the nail on the head. People were figuring it out. So yeah, Facebook has been stacking up too, guys. We talked about it a little while ago. They put a bunch of job listings for blockchain peeps, and so they're getting in there. Something I did not know about: Wall Street Journal reported that Coinbase was in talks with the SEC about becoming a licensed brokerage firm, an electronic trading venue. Yeah, that's probably inevitable. They might as well go all the way there. This author does say something I think is noteworthy, that Facebook would be a heavy regulatory burden to assume acquiring Coinbase. That would be a lot, but they are two different entities. They wouldn't have to like merge or something. There's so many different ways to do things, but it would be a task. But again, when you got money like Zuck and the connections like he does, you can get some stuff. Speaking of M&As, we got Binance doing M&As, and Bitmain and Coinbase doing M&As. They've bought 4 companies in the quarter alone, this quarter alone. So there you go. It's pretty pretty relative news there. Or relevant, I'm sorry, relevant news. So keep an eye, man. I know everyone's talking about it. I'm not sure how true it is, but Facebook is definitely going to announce some kind of crypto project, Facebook coin. I read somewhere that they had maybe talked also about using Stellar and some kind of payment platform within Facebook, so that's interesting. And that wouldn't be that surprising, as Stellar has been getting in to lots of different doors. So, all right, moving on. Quickex. Never heard about this until earlier today. So, we talked about Bitfract, Mr. Willie out of here in Austin, getting acquired by Shapeshift. And this kind of reminds me a little bit of that. But instead of... I'm going to play with it later. I just literally found it right before the... I decided to do the show. I was kind of producing the show. I was like, oh, I'll throw that in there. That's a pretty cool idea. And then... you go in here, move some stuff around, pick the things. It doesn't have that many choices yet, but what it does is it goes to all the different major exchanges, Bitfract everywhere, Coinbase, and for like a tiny fee, I think it's like 0.05%, I believe. Yeah, here you go, 0.5%. So 0.5%. But that's kind of cool. You just go on here, do it, and it sends it to the wallet that you want. You just put it in right here and the refund address, and it's pretty much, that's it. I'm going to play with it later, though, and I'll let y'all know how cool it is. I'll do a little bit more thorough use and review to let you guys know if it's a decent service. All right, let's go to markets. There we are. 7 days, still lots of red. Mucho red. It doesn't stop. I had a little column on here. This is a cool thing about Coin Checkup too. I had a little column over here on the side. Percent from all-time high. It's pretty cool. So really fast you can just look how wrecked it got. How destroyed it got. So Bitcoin right now currently is sitting 67% down. Ethereum's down 70. Look at that Ripple, 92 almost. Let's see, what's the worst in the top 20? The worst in the top 20 looks to be NEM, New Economy Movement, Tron, Cardano, and Ripple. Let's actually go look at New Economy Movement. I was speaking about that a little while ago on a few streams back, because the Petro is going to be on New Economy Movement. Ukraine was talking about using it for some voting stuff. So, pretty interesting, I believe. It's still getting destroyed. Oh, let's go to, we're on an hour. Yeah, we don't need an hour. Let's see. Oh gosh, it's good. More destroyed. We were looking at it right here. Just couldn't hold up. It just keeps going. So everything else has been kind of bleeding off too, so it isn't a huge surprise. But let's see what else got smashed. We said Tron. Let's not. We definitely knew that. Yeah, Cardano had a lot of love. I like Charles, but murder fest. Of course, Ripple, definitely not a shocker. Pretty amazing to think that it's down 90% and it's still 30 cents, right? What? So Bitcoin Cash also taking it on the chin, are about tied. Oh no, wait, sorry. Binance Coin, of course. So Binance Coin is the top performing coin from its all-time highs in the top 20. It's down only 50%. Should have guessed it was Binance Coin. It's got so much damn relative strength, according to, or to the other markets. Here we go. Let's look at it. Boom. Ooh, XRP's crossing down a trend line, huh? I mean, look at this. It's just resilient, guys. Once I get it on the dollar. Been selling off a little bit though. These are not good formations right here, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. This. Let me change the color of that because that is hard to see. There we go. That is a perfectly drawn, rounded top. Yeah, so when you see those kinds of patterns, any kind of rounding formation, that is not a good sign. Do be careful. Those usually are distribution patterns. So, but not all the time. But a lot of the time. We are trying to hold pretty tough here around that 1050 11 area. What do we got on the internals here? Nothing too great on the daily. Yeah, nothing really at all. On the 3-day, it is about to get bearish. On a 4-hour, it's showing a little bit of divergence. Let me draw these lines on here real quick and then get back into it. Oh my goodness, no, I don't want those. That's way too bright. Or not bright. Well, yeah, it is bright. The red. We don't need that. Oh, that was from the price. Pretty much like, uh-oh, get out or hedge yourself a lot right now in crypto. It's gonna get dangerous. That's about that 5,500 level, which we'll be talking about here in a bit. Oh, but on DMI though, this is interesting. This is super weak here. Y'all can see here on the green, we are way down here by 4.6, 4 or 5. It usually does not stay down there very long, as you can see going back. It actually hasn't been down there since the very end of January, which was right around here, right into this. Then I had a pump, but then proceeded to dump off a lot more. But that was kind of it for a little while. So yeah, so that means bulls are super weak, but they're also kind of like, they can just pop up like really hardcore from these levels. Keep an eye on it, but do be wary of that rounding formation there at the top. All right, let's go ahead and make the chart bigger and go to everybody's favorite, Bitcoin Cash. No, I'm just kidding. Bitcoin. It's like, oh my gosh, everyone just turned it off right there. So here we go. Holding here, same kind of deal. We've actually just been hanging out on this bottom part. We did just sell off pretty fast. Look at this, guys. It was looking pretty decent earlier, and then 1 hour came through, and that was it. Said, nope. Go back down. We made an inverse Bart formation here. You know, we like to see those a lot. There's another one. Yeah, it's so funny. Such a funny ass pattern. There's another one. Yeah, so Bears didn't like that rise at all. They weren't having it. Let's see some internals. See if we got any good signals or divergences. And yeah, we still kind of have that divergence that has been building up. It's not very big, but it is some. Let's see. It's harder to tell. Yeah, that is sloppy. That is ugly. And guys, it's really tough right now. I think the best way to just kind of be looking at this, it's the way the price action is working and being kind of sideways and range bound, and it's been, and I'm gonna call like a big range though. Like it's pretty much being between like 6K and like 8K for, you know, we can even really go back to counting that pump in April, right? So all the indicators are just kind of looking confused. I think looking at price and seeing where volume picks up right now is just going to be the best indicators. One thing that I am noticing on here, since I didn't do a stream yesterday, is that we are struggling to even get up anywhere over this 65 level at the moment. And we are out of this channel, so we're gonna go ahead and delete that. Oh, sorry for hitting that keyboard a little hard. I've been trying to be soft and light with the keys, as I notice you can hear it on the stream a little bit, and it's bassy. So volume, let's go to a daily, give us a little bit cleaner picture. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same as back here. It is mostly selling. So we're right on the bottom part of RSI. Bears still have control on the daily, ever so slightly on the 4 hour, on the 3-day as well, and even on the 850, which is close to like a 12 hour. They're battling. So on the 4, no, pretty much just that. On the 850, it looks okay. Everything else is looking real dangerous right here. This would be, you have this little bottom part of this falling wedge. Yeah, if we fall below that, and if y'all even look too at the timing of this, here and here, it's just coming right into about our critical oh crap zone of 5,500. So, and that is only in the next, God, look at the timing on this too, guys. Just kind of keeps happening. Here's another one falling into, this is where the time is pointing into. Here's like about the first SEC ETF decision that needs to be made, and then there's a couple other ones that will fall here and here. But yeah, it's all, the falling wedge is going right into here. So yeah, I don't know, it's real tough. Just make sure you got your stops tight, or you're not even playing. Maybe just being on the sideline right now isn't the worst idea too, if you don't want to take the risk, because we are going to see another large move. This little weird A pattern, it's almost like just nothing even happened from right here, you know. It's like, what we're just chilling, like we might as well just chopped, like went sideways, which is kind of what my modified moving average kind of did here. It just kind of went sideways. It was like, oh yeah, usually when it gets so far high above that, that's something I totally missed, guys. So with my mama moving average here, this thing, the red and the teal, whenever you get so far away, like that is, it's super stretched out, right? So, and now we're kind of getting kind of stretched out to the bottom side. It would almost be perfect if it just hit like down here. We'll see what happens though. All right, let's go to ETH, and then I'm gonna wrap it up after that, and probably Ripple, because I am going to hang out with the family. We're doing a little queuing. My nephew just graduated from A&M, as I said earlier before we started the stream, so get some celebratory action in. Yowzer. Gosh, I don't even want to look at Ethereum on the Bitcoin pair. It's depressing. Let's go to the dollar. Oh my goodness, it's equally as depressing. Yeah, so Ethereum has just been mollywopped. We're getting rid of that line. It doesn't mean anything anymore. I'm gonna clean this chart up anymore, or yeah, screw that line too. We're in new territories. So sorry I missed that one to tell you guys on the stream. That's my bad. I was doing good. I was on a streak, doing one every day, but that's okay. Still in the beginning. Maybe I'll have my goal will be by the end of September on a weekly basis to not miss more than 2 weeks on daily. That's what I'm gonna set my new goal at. All right, guys. So we are in this nice consolidation area though. That is right probably where the volume profile would slice through. Oh my gosh, look at that. How did I know? Well, when you look at charts for a long time, like sometimes you can just start seeing it, or like fibs especially, you're like, oh, about this is about the 618 or something on this thing, or it just, you know, the more you do stuff, like the more you just get better at it. It's good. So yeah, you got that. Boom. We are at critical levels here. Even if you zoom in, I bet. Okay, so there and then here. So this is probably going to be a good range that we can draw up. All right, we'll go ahead and do that so we don't always have to have this volume profile all up in our biz. Oh, I hate that. All right, there we go. So this range, I believe, is going to be the new range for Ethereum. Oh, and guys, if we don't hold this though, we break like shit, I want to say like 275. Oh gosh, get ready for flash crash time. And you know what? I'm not against it. I'd actually prefer it happen now than a super surprise later. That means we get it out of the way and give us some nice fuel for the upside. All right, let's look at internals, see if we're getting anything. Oof, 3-day looks pretty bearish. We are getting close down here though, extreme on our side. It doesn't usually hang out down there too long. That doesn't mean we're not in a bear trend. We are in a bear trend. And so when we go on bear trends, you actually want to use these little dead cat bounces, as they usually call them, bear rallies, to adjust positions, get out, maybe even play them, hedge more, add to positions. Yeah, you need to use those to your advantage in bear markets, just like you need to do the same with pullbacks in bull markets. You don't need to do that. Again, I'm not giving advice. I'm just saying what I do. Oh man, yeah, on the daily though, on the my mama average, it's just looking, it never could get out. It was just death the whole way on ETH to the USD. So kind of sucks for ETH holders. Good thing about ETH though is there's lots of different tokens just on Ethereum, and they move all the time. So you know, you can sneak around in that realm and maybe try to earn some more ETH via other coins, right, to offset some of your dollar losses. All right, Litecoin. Yeah, we're down here, really weak, super weak. Yeah, I don't see anything super great here. You know, their charts were already looking pretty bad, and they broke down hardcore, you know, about a week ago, or yeah, about a week now, when it was just doing this little sideways action, and then it just couldn't. They just got weak hands, bro. Where are the hodlers at, man? Yeah, looks weak. We are getting in this upper range though here on DMI. That seems to be kind of its, even going all the way back to last summer. That is about the extent of its range, even on the upper end of the range right now. So sellers are getting a little exhausted. It does feel that way too, but doesn't mean bears can't use that to their advantage and get real hardcore capitulation in these times. So, but yeah, here's the weekly, looking pretty damn bad. The weekly does not look good at all. That's probably the worst looking one. XRP to the dollar. Oh gosh, wow, we are dipping below the 30-cent mark. And remember, we talked about this. It was real easy. I think this was one of the easiest trades that was either going to work out real well or not, and it didn't, and that's okay. But it doesn't matter because your risk was tiny. I closed my paper trade here on this candle. When this candle happened and closed on that daily, I was out. I was done. So I told y'all once it got below this level that it was likely to test this line, and then once it goes below that, then there's nothing holding it up until 20s, like low to mid 20s. And so, and you can see that it's like the chart is pretty, I mean, you can see all this business done right here, right? And then here, actually XRP, let me look at a different dollar pair. There's not enough history here. Let's go to Bitfract. We'll have a lot of history. There you go. So there's when it based at like half a penny forever, blew up to 20 cents, blew up to 3 something, and then CNBC told you to, they literally showed you how to buy it on Polo right here. Yeah. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to me either. For that matter. Learn how to trade. And then you can make your own things. And when you kind of learn how to read charts and do stuff, then it becomes pretty easy. Right? And then you can just listen to people for entertainment and sentiment. It's kind of like what I like to do. And you also do learn little tidbits to add to your arsenal, because you never know everything. As you keep going, you add little, you know, like I said, something added to your toolbox and makes you a little bit better trader, or you learn how to think a little bit differently or something like that. But yeah, here we go. We are looking like we're on the trajectory to come into this zone here. And I would love to see Ripple get smashed down real quick to like high teens. That would be beautiful. I'm actually going to put a couple of alerts on Ripple right now as we're talking about it, because your positions are already beat the hell up if you are bag holding, right? Look at this. So all you got to do is go over here and look at this. 95, 70, 85, 95, 80, 77, 84, 85, 96. I mean, it's just infinite everything over 70. So you're already hurting, and this is from all-time highs, period, of the coin. Not, there's no local high or anything like that. It's just whatever its all-time high was. So you can see everything. We are in full-fledged damn this sucks mode for the markets, but that's good. That's where you got to start looking for the opportunity and to see and position yourself, and then be patient. So then that way, the next time one of these happens, you know, and look how far they go back. I mean, this is all the way back to, you know, 2015 and 14. So it goes in cycles, y'all. As I pull this chart up sometimes just to share with y'all so you remember. Amazon weekly. Look at this. Look at all these big run and falls in this. Let's just take out all the crazy price action, because it is over $1,000 now. Yeah, you can see all these big falls, okay, like in big gains. Look at these big ass moves. I mean, we're talking from 7 to 17, and then it went from 2 to 100, and then went from 100 back all the way to like $5, and then went up to 60, then 25, then back to 100, and then blew out crazy and went to 240. I mean, the big moves happen, but now it's just been on fire for a really long time. But yeah, just to give you context, way back here, it was just like mollywhopping people until it became like, oh my god, they're taking over the world. Now Amazon just says they're getting in like a business and or a sector, and it like that whole sector sells off. I remember when they did that with Costco one time. It was one of these dumps. Wow, Costco's killing it. Jesus. Wow. This market is insanity. You don't think you can make good gains in the regular market? There's 20% right there, guys. It's only in a month or two. In regular markets, that's crazy. And do remember, there's lots of leverage available in these products. All right, guys. Bitcoin sign-off time. Here is the trajectory. We're kind of still following it. Remember, guys, these are fractals from 2014 and 14 and 13. 14's the red, as in bear, duh. 13 is green, and I added the little squiggly. It does something about these lines, right? Okay, it's not exactly like that, but just to show up. I didn't do this one as far, and I was kind of lazy, so I just did that. But you get it. It blows up after that right here. So look at this, guys. Can't tell yet. Man, how insane is this for price action? Just get prepared, learn how to trade a little bit better, educate yourself, read a couple books. This is the time to do it when markets are like this. With that being said, this is Noiz Research with your host Z-Rex signing off on this awesome day. August 11th, 2018. Sub. Hit that bell. And smash of the likes. Alright, guys. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Saturday night. Be safe. And tune in mañana for the next show. Peace.